that new apology from President Obama on health care, and a possible breakthrough on negotiations to contain Iran's nuclear program. NBC's John Carl and Martha Raddatz here with more on that. And John, let me begin with you and that presidential apology for a broken promise.
Right, George. You know, you almost never hear a president say, "I am sorry," and Barack Obama is no exception to that. And this apology was not so much for the problems with the website, but for the millions of Americans who have received cancellation notices from their insurance companies, despite his repeated promise over and over again that nobody would lose their insurance.
I am sorry that they are finding themselves in this situation based on assurances they got from me. We've got to work hard to make sure that they know we hear them and that we're going to do everything we can to deal with folks who find themselves in a tough position as a consequence of this.
Now, despite the apology, the president pointed out that those insurance policies that are being canceled are what he called subpar insurance. And he pointed out that once the website is up and running fully, people will be able to find better alternatives, many of them for less money. So, George, this was an apology, but it was an apology with caveats.
Meantime, the House is going to vote next week on a bill that would block any attempt to take away those policies from people who have them. White House reaction to that?
The White House has made it clear they do not see a need for a legislative fix. They want no bill here. They say they will work within the current system.
Okay, let's turn to Martha Raddatz right now, because Secretary of State John Kerry, Martha, is now flying to Geneva for those nuclear negotiations with Iran ahead of this possible breakthrough.
You know, George, this is a surprise trip. Kerry is in the region, but was not scheduled to go to Geneva, where these very serious negotiations have been taking place. So this could very well mean an agreement is likely. But any agreement would be just a first phase. This is how it would work. The Iranians would have to freeze their nuclear program for as long as 6 months. In exchange, some of the sanctions that have crippled parts of the Iranian economy would be lifted, freeing up some much-needed cash for the Iranians.
And, Martha, you're already hearing opposition to this potential deal from the Israeli Prime Minister and some members of Congress.
Well, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has made very clear that Israel utterly objects to this, saying Iran would be getting the deal of the century and that the U.S. would be making a grievous mistake, since Iran would still have the capability to enrich uranium. And many members of Congress are not happy about this either.
Okay, Martha, thanks. We're going to have all the breaking news on this Sunday on This Week. Plus, I go one-on-one with Chris Christie after his big win on Tuesday.